She's making more, according to him, I don't have the actual numbers, in one speaking engagement than an entire WNBA season, and she don't even have to leave the house. And Clark can get away with charging very high numbers and fees.
The moment the WNBA season ended, Caitlyn Clark was already on to her next big move. No breaks, no hesitation. While most players are still tangled in online debates about contracts and status, Clark has quietly secured her first major offseason deal, and it's sending shockwaves through locker rooms nationwide. This time, it's not about points or records. It's about power, exposure, and serious cash flow. And once again, Angel Reese finds herself watching from the sidelines as every headline circles back to Caitlyn. Later in this video, we'll reveal exclusive behind-the-scenes footage, capturing Reese's stunned reaction to Clark's groundbreaking speaking contract.
He's been very instrumental in shaping my career, and we had a sports psychologist and therapist that would travel with our team and would be there for people that had performance anxiety or had, things going on completely outside of basketball that nobody knows about, nobody watching on TV knows about. And, at the end of the day, a lot of people forget we're humans. We have lives outside of sports, and we have problems outside of sports. We have a lot of great things outside of sports.
This move isn't just business. It's a declaration of dominance and control. While the WNBA continues to wrestle with CBA tensions, travel complaints, and Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's ongoing silence, Caitlyn Clark is out there securing opportunities that make a regular league salary look like spare change. But here's the real surprise. This isn't your average shoe deal or brand partnership. Clark has entered the world of elite corporate speaking engagements, reportedly earning close to $100,000 per event. She's making top-tier superstar money just by doing what comes naturally to her, motivating audiences and breaking down the mindset it takes to win at every level.
And it looked like Caitlyn Clark has landed her first speaking gig of the offseason. His last offseason was Caitlyn Clark $100,000 an hour speaking gigs. Well, I'm here to tell you, she is not taking long getting back to work, raking in the cash because she has landed.
And these aren't your average fan meet and greets. This is an entirely different playing field. Think Fortune 500 gatherings, exclusive resort ballrooms, and appearance fees so huge they'd make even Wall Street veterans do a double take. Multiple reports confirm that Caitlyn Clark is now commanding 6 figures per event just to speak. She's literally earning more for sharing her story than some players do for an entire season on the court. Crazy? Not really. Not for the woman who turned Iowa basketball into a national phenomenon and pushed the WNBA straight into mainstream pop culture. The season's barely in the rear view, and she's already running the business game like a pro. So here's the question. Why are major brands and corporations racing to book Caitlyn Clark instead of Angel Reese? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
But she can also make some serious cash, and that's a virtual one right there. And according to an old LinkedIn post, her virtual speaking fee starts at $100,000, which is, you're talking about on Zoom or whatever, right? That is nuts.
Caitlyn Clark's next big spotlight moment will be as the featured keynote speaker at the Long Island Association's exclusive fall conference, one of the most high-profile business events on the entire East Coast. And let's be clear, this isn't some casual charity banquet. It's a high-paying corporate affair hosted at a luxury country club where elite executives negotiate million-dollar deals over champagne and caviar. Clark is set to sit down with LIA President Matt Cohen for an in-depth conversation about her record-shattering career, her relentless championship mentality, and how she's actively reshaping the future of women's sports right in front of the world's eyes.
It looked like Caitlyn Clark is headed to Long Island Association, bro. So it stated Long Island Association joined the Long Island Association's president and CEO, Matt Cohen, moderates a special conversation with Caitlyn Clark discussing her record-breaking performances, impact, and cultural influence on October the 29th at 10:30 to 12:30 in New York.
And here's where things get downright awkward and a little poetic for the WNBA. In just 1 hour, Caitlyn Clark will earn what most players grind all season to make. With the average WNBA salary hovering around $120,000, Clark can pocket that before lunch. Fully glammed up, speaking to an audience that genuinely appreciates her greatness. No hard fouls, no cheap elbows, no referees pretending not to see, just air conditioning, applause, and five-star catering. Meanwhile, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert is probably still stuck in yet another urgent meeting about charter flights and marketing strategies. And that's exactly what makes Angel Reese squirm. She's worked hard to brand herself as the league's face, the bold, unapologetic Bayou Barbie. But Caitlyn, she did it faster, louder, and smarter. Angel can post all the motivational quotes and real talk videos she wants. But Caitlyn's not chasing attention. She's monetizing it. She's become the main character in women's basketball, the spark, the disruptor, the reason everyone's talking. You can sense the mix of envy and frustration in some of those post-game interviews. Because this isn't just another paid gig, it's a calculated power move. Each deal Clark signs subtly shifts the balance of power in women's sports. When one athlete grows bigger than the league itself, everything changes. Sponsors start asking uncomfortable questions. Do we really need the WNBA logo when Caitlyn Clark's name alone sells out arenas? And TV networks? They stop calling the league office. They call her agent directly. For players like Angel Reese, who once believed their spotlight could never fade, this moment hits hard. It's a cold reminder that relevance isn't earned through social media posts or clever sound bites. It's earned through results. Caitlyn Clark isn't sitting around waiting for the WNBA to figure itself out. She's out there building her own empire, one microphone at a time. Think about it. Global icons like Serena Williams, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady command between $150,000 and $250,000 for a single speaking engagement. And Caitlyn is already joining that exclusive circle. She approaches business conferences with the same intensity she brings to the court, turning boardrooms into arenas and making corporate crowds cheer just like fans in sold-out stadiums. Meanwhile, some WNBA players can't hide their frustration. The quiet jealousy toward Caitlyn Clark is becoming louder by the day. You can almost feel the tension online. While Angel Reese posts cryptic quotes about being overlooked, Caitlyn is too busy preparing another keynote speech. One's chasing clout, the other's collecting contracts. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Remember when Caitlyn's $100,000 speaking fee made national headlines? Well, it looks like Angel Reese has just matched that exact number. A well-known sports booking site now lists her new fee at 6 figures, even though just months ago, it wasn't publicly disclosed. Coincidence? Highly doubtful. But this isn't just about rivalry. It's about control. Caitlyn Clark has achieved something no other WNBA player ever has: complete independence. While the rest of the league argues over collective bargaining terms, she's proving she doesn't need the system to thrive. In fact, the balance of power has officially shifted. The WNBA needs Caitlyn Clark far more than she needs them. Every time her name trends, the league gains exposure. Every time she speaks, the brand grows stronger. But here's the twist. It's not the WNBA's brand anymore. It's hers as she's out here talking about charging $100,000 per speaking event. And fans couldn't help but point out the obvious. Since when? Many believe Angel Reese is only doing this because Caitlyn Clark set the bar first. And honestly, it's no surprise that major corporations seem to understand Caitlyn's value better than the WNBA ever did. They don't just see her as another athlete. They see her as a global brand. Her influence stretches far beyond Indiana or Iowa. Kids in Europe copy her shooting form. Fans in Asia stay up late, streaming her highlights. Parents across America buy her jerseys for their daughters. Every generation in women's sports has needed a true trailblazer. And Caitlyn Clark is the one who finally answered that call. That's why her Long Island Conference appearance isn't just another high-paying gig, it's a statement. It signals that the business world has already crowned Caitlyn Clark the undisputed face of women's sports. No league approval required. Angel Reese can call herself the face of the WNBA all she wants. But corporations speak the real truth with their money, and right now, they're betting big on Caitlyn Clark. Angel has made her mark in her own way. Sure, bringing some flair, confidence, and style to the league. But when it comes to pure basketball draw and global influence, the difference is crystal clear. Caitlyn Clark is the main attraction, the one people pay to see, the one who turns games into events. That's not hate. That's just the scoreboard talking that it's just not happening. While Angel Reese is still chasing likes and validation online, Caitlyn Clark is out here mastering the only game that really matters, the money game. She's turning her platform into power, her voice into value, and her influence into pure income. Every event she headlines is a reminder that she's not just in the conversation. She is the conversation. At this point, Caitlyn Clark isn't just collecting paychecks. She's rewriting the entire playbook for women's sports. She's proving that independence outshines insecurity and that real substance will always outlast the noise. While Angel fumes, wondering why the spotlight keeps slipping away, Caitlyn just keeps shining brighter, on the court, on the stage, and soon, without question, in the boardroom too. When asked about leadership, Caitlyn put it perfectly. It's about understanding people. You have to approach everyone differently, she explained. Everyone comes from a unique background. Some need encouragement, others respond to tough love. The key is building relationships and earning trust. That's what makes her so magnetic. She leads with empathy, not ego. And here's the uncomfortable truth. When Caitlyn Clark plays, ratings soar. When she doesn't, the audience disappears. That's not hype, that's data. She is the WNBA's economy. So you can imagine the panic in those boardrooms now that the league's biggest attraction is making massive money completely outside their system in WNBA logos. No sponsor kickbacks, no league campaigns, just Caitlyn Clark, a microphone, and another huge payday. It's Caitlyn Clark's world now, and the league is just trying to stay relevant inside it. You can practically hear the alarm bells ringing in the front office as WNBA-aligned media rush to downplay the reality. It's just one event, they claim. But deep down, everyone knows. It's the start of something much bigger. Yeah, sure. That's exactly what they said last year too, right before one small gig turned into a full-blown speaking tour. Now, every time Caitlyn Clark steps on stage, the clip goes viral for days, and suddenly, major sponsors are lining up with blank checks. The wildest part? She's doing it all in heels and a blazer, not sneakers and knee pads. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is still posting filtered selfies about staying humble, while Caitlyn's over here staying booked and paid. Let's be honest, Angel isn't Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, or Larry Bird. She's the player who taunted Caitlyn Clark on a national stage, and that's the only reason most casual fans even remember her. The jealousy? It's impossible to miss. You can practically picture Angel scrolling through Twitter, fuming every time Caitlyn's name hits the trending page. She's been trying to brand herself as the WNBA's it girl, but Caitlyn walked in and took that crown in less than a season, while Angel spent her first 2 years talking about fashion, fame, and social impact. Caitlyn quietly built a real business empire. Angel's chasing outfit deals. Caitlyn's landing 7-figure corporate partnerships. It's not even the same league. It's a completely different universe. And deep down, Angel knows it. Because here's the truth no one in the WNBA wants to say out loud. Caitlyn Clark is something the league has never had before, a player so powerful she doesn't need its system to succeed. When one athlete's name becomes bigger than the league's logo, everything changes overnight. Brands start asking themselves, do we even need to go through the WNBA? Fans tune in for her, not the league. Caitlyn Clark has created her own gravitational pull. She's the center of the women's basketball universe now. And for players like Angel Reese, who once thought their spotlight was untouchable, that realization burns the most, all season long. Some WNBA players have been demanding credit for elevating the league, including Angel and her media allies, who keep insisting the WNBA's popularity boom is their doing. But fans know the truth. Caitlyn Clark is the reason everyone's watching. And when people wondered why she didn't join Unrivaled, that player-run off-season league started by Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart, the answer was simple. She doesn't need to. Unrivaled was created for players looking for exposure. Caitlyn already owns the spotlight. Players join Unrivaled for extra income and exposure, but Caitlyn Clark doesn't need either. She's already a global powerhouse, a brand bigger than the league itself. Why risk injury in a side project when she can earn the same, or more, in a single hour speaking to CEOs? That's not arrogance. That's strategy and intelligence. Caitlyn isn't wasting her time playing pickup games for pennies. She's focused on building generational wealth. That's the difference between talking about success and actually creating it. Of course, critics have plenty to say. Some argue she should use her platform to fight for others. But here's the thing. She is fighting, just not the way they expect. Caitlyn's fight comes through leadership, not lip service. She's showing young women everywhere that you don't need to beg for respect. You can build your own value. She's laying out the blueprint. Every athlete could follow if they had the vision and discipline, independence, confidence, self-worth. That's her message, and it's exactly what terrifies the WNBA. Because once players realize they can thrive and profit outside the league, the system loses control. You can almost hear the commissioner's office holding its breath every time her name starts trending. But now, jealous WNBA players will finally get the chance to prove their own worth. Players like Angel Reese can test just how far their star power really goes. And make no mistake, the Long Island Association event is only the beginning. This isn't some routine public appearance. It's Caitlyn Clark's corporate coming out party, a bright signal to every major brand in America that she's officially open for business. What's next? Another Nike campaign, maybe a Netflix docuseries, possibly a youth basketball academy with her name across the doors. Oh wait, she's already done all of that and more. From this point forward, every deal she signs happens completely outside the WNBA's control. Meanwhile, the league's PR team keeps tweeting vague words like growth and momentum. Cute, but Caitlyn's not tweeting. She's executing. She's not waiting for the league to catch up. She's building her own economy from scratch. And here's the poetic twist. Caitlyn's Long Island speech is scheduled for October 29th, just 2 days before the WNBA CBA expires. Picture the scene. While the league is spiraling into labor disputes and pay negotiations, their biggest superstar will be sitting in a New York ballroom, calmly addressing executives about leadership and success. The optics? Brutal. The headlines? Automatic. WNBA faces lockout while Caitlyn Clark cashes in. You couldn't write better irony if you tried. Once again, WNBA players are getting exactly what they asked for, a chance to prove they can shine without Caitlyn Clark. Here's their opportunity to show their true stars, not just supporting characters orbiting around the real one. But deep down, everyone knows the truth. The spotlight doesn't belong to the league anymore. It belongs to Caitlyn. The WNBA has never dealt with a player like her before. They can't find her, can't frame her as difficult, and can't twist her narrative. She's everything the league claims to want: professional, composed, scandal-free. She doesn't brawl with teammates or throw shade at rivals. She doesn't need controversy to trend. She just wins and cashes checks while doing it. That's exactly why Angel Reese's frustration cuts so deep. She's starting to realize that Caitlyn has mastered everything she's tried to imitate: authenticity, professionalism, and pure excellence. Caitlyn doesn't need to call herself the face of the league. The world already decided that for her. And here's the part that stings even more. People genuinely like Caitlyn Clark. Even casual fans who don't normally follow women's basketball respect her. They see the focus, the humility, the drive. She doesn't talk about fame. She talks about work. She doesn't demand respect. She earns it. That's what makes her untouchable. The WNBA can't control her, the media can't twist her, and jealous players can't drag her down. Her reputation stands taller than the system that once tried to box her in. And for those wondering, yes, Angel's on-court numbers don't exactly help her case. Shooting under 40% from inside 5 feet? That's not elite for a forward. But the real nightmare scenario for the WNBA isn't Angel's stats. It's the idea that Caitlyn Clark might one day realize she doesn't even need to come back. Think about it. If she ever took a season off, the league's ratings would collapse overnight. Sponsorships? Gone. Ticket sales? Vanished. The entire ecosystem would crumble, and Caitlyn wouldn't lose a dime. She'd keep signing deals, growing her influence, and expanding her brand. That's what real power looks like. And the most impressive part? She never brags about it. She doesn't post flexes, doesn't clap back at critics, doesn't fuel drama. She lets results do the talking. Every Forbes mention, every headline about another record-breaking deal widens the gap between her and everyone else. She's turned professionalism into a superpower, and the rest of the league simply can't keep pace. This offseason, Caitlyn Clark has essentially transformed herself into a one-woman business empire. While the WNBA argues over charter flights and travel budgets, she's on stage delivering keynote speeches to CEOs and millionaires. Every move she makes becomes national news. Every moment of silence becomes strategy. Even her downtime builds her brand. That's when you know you've reached a level beyond sports. The level Angel Reese's PR team keeps pretending she's on. The truth is, the WNBA was never prepared for someone like Caitlyn Clark. They wanted a controllable, marketable star. Instead, they got a once-in-a-generation icon who outgrew their system before she even finished her rookie season. Caitlyn doesn't chase the spotlight chases her. So when she steps into that Long Island ballroom, calm, composed, and confident, every executive in the room will come to the same undeniable realization. Caitlyn Clark isn't just part of women's basketball. She is women's basketball. They're not just seeing an athlete anymore. They're witnessing a brand, a mogul, and a full-blown movement. Caitlyn Clark has transcended the boundaries of sports, turning her name into a global symbol of excellence and influence. Meanwhile, somewhere across the country, Angel Reese will be sitting on her phone, endlessly refreshing her feed, watching Caitlyn Clark trend yet again, and quietly wondering what it feels like to lose a spotlight that was never truly hers to begin with. So, here's the real question. Why are major brands lining up for Caitlyn Clark while Angel Reese keeps getting overlooked? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a single update. And of course, click on the next video right here, because trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next.